May have noticed there's a new campaign underway in Virginia. In just 3 weeks, voters there will have the chance to start casting ballots in the latest statewide election.
It is a special election on a constitutional amendment to suddenly redraw the state's congressional districts to favor Democrats. As Northern Virginia Bureau Chief Julie Carey reports, the effort to counter President Trump's actions before the midterms is on a fast track.
That's why Democrats, Republicans,
the ads promoting a yes vote are already airing.
Yes means voters have the final say on maps. It's a temporary last resort to restore fairness now.
Two groups already formed to wage the campaign. Virginians for Fair Elections set up to try to win yes votes, to win approval of the redistricting constitutional amendment. Virginians for Fair Maps pushing a no vote.
And I'm going to fight this by any means necessary.
Opponents had hoped the courts would block the special election, and a lower court did. But Friday, after an appeal, the Virginia Supreme Court said the election could move ahead. Representatives from Virginians for Fair Elections say redrawing the congressional districts to give Democrats a huge advantage in the midterms is needed to counter President Trump's efforts, which have added GOP districts in red states.
There's a general desire to meaningfully push back and speak up, and this is giving voters an opportunity to do that.
Corinne Dongo is helping to lead the effort. She says in many ways it will resemble a traditional candidates campaign with outreach that extends even to door knocking.
So there's no principal face of this campaign. It really is Virginian. So it's people speaking up at their book club or at their community meetings and saying, this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm involved in, and here's why.
The measure's opponents say they too are ready to do battle to try to convince Virginians it's an unprecedented power grab.
We're ready to roll. We're getting our folks together, and we're going to make the case to Virginians that this is unfair, this is unprecedented, and, quite frankly, it's against the law, we believe, and we'll ultimately win in court.
But political analyst Bob Holsworth says with the current political climate, especially in Virginia, the yes vote campaign starts with an edge.
I think the Democrats begin with an initial advantage, largely because I think they're going to try to make this one more referendum on Donald Trump. And at least in Virginia, there's been a big appetite for that right now.
The special election set for April 21st, but early voting starts in just a few weeks on March 6th. That timetable adding an intensity and urgency to both campaigns to educate voters and let them know how quickly they need to act to weigh in on a measure that could create maps for the next 3 congressional elections. Reporting for News 4, I'm Julie Carey.
Even though the Virginia Supreme Court gave the special election the green light, they still have to weigh in on whether the process of setting it up was legal. But that won't happen until after the special election. So even if voters approve the amendment, the court could have the final say.